Hey guys, another day, another victory. Today, our Bible verse is going to be coming from Matthew chapter 9, verse 13, and it reads, "Go and learn what this means. I want faithful love more than I want animal sacrifices. I did not come to invite good people. I came to invite sinners." With that, y'all, the title of today's episode is A Third Option. So from last week, we talked about how love is love and what that means and how to navigate through that as being a follower of Christ and someone that just truly struggles with internal and external struggles of what life has to offer. So today, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that because sometimes, as we said previous in this season, everything is not always black and white. There is a third option into things. And today, we're going to truly zoom in and focus on the political perspective. First things first, Jesus is king. All right, y'all. We saw what Kamala had to say about that and what Vance had to say about that. And
oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
Anti-Christian rhetoric and anti-Christian approach to public policy. I don't think that we've, that's right, Jesus is king, and I don't think that
yeah, so basically, if we all proclaim to be followers of Christ, if someone shouts out Jesus is king, we're going to agree with them, right? Okay. But, if we're not all followers of Christ, then hey, you know what? We're not going to agree. And this is what strikes a chord in the issue for me because y'all know I ride or die for Jesus. I love him, even though I be failing him sometimes. I love that man. And from both rallies, we saw there was two different responses when this claim was yelled out. And disclaimer, y'all, everything I'm about to say in this episode is things I've seen on TikTok or I've read in articles or I've heard other people around me say or I've may just seen on YouTube because I watch various different YouTubers and they go through on their podcasts and talk through different political things. So it's not necessarily just one side perspective I'm speaking from, but I'm really going to try to speak for everybody. Okay, back to the topic. Hearing this statement and being a disciple of Christ, it hurts when at Kamala's convention, she's like, you're at the wrong rally. Like, if a Christian is voting for Kamala because she's the lesser evil, and she said that, which is all over the internet, I feel like you should question your choice just a little bit. And today in our negotiations class, today in my negotiations class, we talked about this and how these statements are received differently. And even with my dear friend, who I love him so much, I had an opportunity to talk with him and Jaden. And we had a conversation about the two parties that can be voted for, which these are definitely two extremes that are being presented to us. And love him to death, but he said he's voting for Kamala. And so I think I just outed myself. I'm not a big Kamala fan, but when he said that, my brain was just like, because I'm super logical, guys. I really am. Like, if you know me, you used to know logic. I think about everything. I don't really go off of how I'm feeling in that moment with most things, which is why I struggle doing things when I want to do them or all this stuff or care about myself. Okay, that's a whole other thing. The point is, when he said this, I was like, what? How? And she said all these things. Like, come on, if a black person is really cooking their greens in a bathtub, I'm not, no, that's nasty. Like, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that black people do that. Sorry, it just made me mad because it's like
A mean pot of greens. In fact, people used to ask me to make greens for them for Christmas. One year, I had so many that I had to wash that we ended up washing them in the bathtub. So I am not playing around.
huh? Like, my mama don't do that. Like, no. If anything, we just had a bunch of batches or multiple hands helping, but we're not dumping them in the bathtub. And another thing, Trump went to go work at McDonald's. And apparently on TikTok now it's saying, like, oh, this is fake because the store closed. He's famous. He has money. If it was open for regular hours, do you understand the chaos that would come from that? Like, this is common sense. Oh my God, it was fake because the store was closed. Wouldn't they close it if Beyonce was in there? Wouldn't they close it if Jay-Z was in there? Like, they would close it if anybody famous was in there. They wouldn't just leave it open for the public to just come. They have the drive-thru open. Okay? So let's not do that. Like, why do we vouch for Kamala more than Trump? At least we know what we're getting with Trump. We know what it is. Kamala, she's changed her accents multiple times. Like, we don't know what her accent is at this point. But, hey, lesser evil. All right. So let's go back to it. Because I don't even know where I was at anymore. Back to what I was saying from the beginning. So then I had this dear conversation with my two friends, and he was like, "Oh, I'm voting for Kamala, all this stuff." He broke it down to me. He was like, "You know what? Like, Alexia, it's not that I agree wholeheartedly with her, but I care more about the emotional well-being of our country and the emotional state." And I was like, "You know what? That is something I didn't think about." And that's even calling me out as a disciple of Christ, because from the scripture we read, let me unlock my phone real fast. Okay. From the scripture we read, we see that God said, "Go and learn what this means. I want faithful love more than I want animal sacrifices." So that's calling me out, because it's like, I'd rather people be drawn to me than feel like they have to come to me. And something that came to my mind when I think about this is, I recently learned about hell houses, or like Judgment Day, like haunted houses that the church puts on. And when I first learned about this, it was like last night. When I first learned about it, I was like, "Oh, I want to go. Like, let's go. Like, this is so fun." Because I'm thinking, like, when I was a kid, my church used to have like a little Halloween party, dress up as Bible characters, and that's how we celebrate Halloween still. So I'm thinking, oh, this is like an off-brand haunted house. No, this is what people really do to try to scare them into following Christ. We can't do that. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of get it, because it can be scary voting for Trump, because it's like, he's so conservative, and the party that he's with has Project 25. But didn't they endorse Kamala? Fact check me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they did. They endorsed both of them. The point is, I get how it can be scary because of everything and the whole January 6th thing. Okay, I get it. But then we look at the other side. It's a woman who's in office currently and is acting as if she can't do anything because it's Biden's administration, when this man is okay. If you don't know what that means, then you don't need to watch this episode. No, I'm just playing. It just means like knocking on death's door, because he's old. So okay, but I don't know, so I'm not really sure. I mean, he may live longer. The point is, that's not the point. The point, all I'm saying is that, like, she technically is in power right now, and all these big boy changes that's supposed to happen, I don't see them happening. But I'm gonna be quiet on that. I'm gonna go back to my 2 points about choosing who to vote for. I can see how we want Kamala, because emotionally, it's comfort for everyone in this country. Most people in this country. And I can see how Trump, it can just be a little bit scary. Just because, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of stuff. This is the third time I'm saying this. I had to redo this take multiple times. But the truth is, I don't know why it's scary to have him. Okay, like, we've heard things about both of them, but we still rather have Kamala. And, I don't know. Like, y'all, I really don't know. And I can sit here and give my opinion multiple times, but I feel like most of the time, all it's gonna do is frustrate people, because all I can say is, I watch Candace Owens. Oh my God, Alexia, what are you doing? Like, boom. But I do, and I can't help it. Like, that's what I enjoy. So let's talk about Black people now. And I think that this has a lot to do with these two candidates. Me, I am Black. I'm very Black. I'm pigmented. And I mean, my hair is saying it in itself. I'm just saying, like, I'm Black, and I'd rather vote for Trump. Oh my gosh. No, but seriously, like, I'm Black, and that's how I feel. Because I, the Black person, this may be contradicting what I'm saying, have been saying. But hey, I feel like as a Black person, I would be offended to vote for Kamala Harris for half the things that she has said. And I'm only saying this because like I said before, I do watch Candace Owens, and I've been watching her series recently, uncovering like Kamala's history and stuff, and how she's not really a black woman. Now she has color. She's not Caucasian fully, but she's not African. No, scratch. She's not a black American. Um, and so it's kind of like, why even act like that's what you are when you're not? What else are you willing to do that is not you? And why do you feel like you have to do that to get in an office? And guys, us as black people, why are we okay with that? Like, it actually breaks my heart. Like, why are we okay with that? That's not clicking to me. Someone that is not us is proclaiming to be us. Hmm? And I feel like y'all, we have way more power if we rallied together and we didn't vote. I mean, I know. But I feel like we'd have more power if we did that, guys. Like, if every black person in America was like, actually, we're not going to vote. Because they all want the black vote, do they not? They all want the black vote. I mean, we're royalty, like, period. Like, they all want, like, if you really think about us being black people, think. Like, there's more to us than what we act like there is. There's more to us. Like, we're smart. We're beyond just the music industry. Like, we literally started really STEM. Like, we I say this stuff because I'm so passionate about it, and it has nothing to do with me judging my people. Because if that, I'm judging myself. It's about me saying, like, hey, I love us so much that let's think outside the box sometimes. Let's not always go at each other. That's what they want. They want us to go at each other. Why do we want to do that? Like, the moment slavery stopped, they're like, how can we keep them at odds? Like, come on. Like, there's so many different cults, well, societies, secret societies, like all that type of stuff that is there just to keep us in line. No. Like, dude, like the black brulee. What do they really do? Freemasonry. What is that really for? The divine night. What is that really for? Like, why am I paying for sisterhood? Okay, I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna back off now. But these are real questions that we need to ask each other. You can't be like, oh, you're not an AKA? We're not really sisters. You're not a Delta? Oh, we're not really sisters. You're not Omega? Oh, we're not really brothers, huh? What? Why do we do this? I don't even like that about myself. Like, why do I go to the hood or where black people are mostly at and I'm scared? Huh? Why? And I'm calling myself out. I don't like that. And I don't want it to be like that. Like, we are so much more than we act like we are. And I tie this in to this episode because it matters so much in politics. Because if you really pay attention and pay attention to history and just really watching, why are they always so concerned about what the black people are doing? Think. We have to think. I can't say more. We have to think. And yes, I'm saying there's a third option. You can vote independent. You don't really have to vote for Trump or Kamala. But everyone is entitled to vote for everyone is entitled to vote for who they want to vote for because this is freedom of the republic. Okay? So I'm not really trying to get on here and be like, you can't vote for this person. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just sharing my personal opinion on who I would want to vote for. And I think that should be okay for me to do. I don't know how much backlash this is totally going to bring, but I feel like I should be okay to do that. Just like the person that is extremely for Kamala Harris should be okay to do that too. Or someone that's extremely for Trump should be okay to do that. I'm not telling you guys who to vote for. I'm just literally sharing my opinion. And I don't know what is going to happen in the next couple of days when this video is posted, okay? But I'm just sharing my opinion. If you want to vote for Kamala, boom. If you want to vote for Trump, boom. But I'm just saying, one takeaway as black people, can we all think, thank you? Can we use our noggins? Can we use our brain? Two, there is a third option. There's independent voting if you really want to do that. And I'm laughing because it's just like, I feel like people think that they have to vote for one of those people because the speech that's always made to me is, and voting is important. Like, you have to vote. You have to do it. Okay. But if I vote for the person you don't want me to vote for, then I'm the one in the wrong. I don't know what that's about. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And let's all vote for who we're voting for because we have logical, educational reasons behind it. Not just because I'm voting for Trump because I don't like Kamala. Or I'm voting for Kamala because I don't like Trump. Like, do you really know why you're voting for the other person? I don't know. And I know, like, I just know that, yo, I'm just, I'm lost for words because this is something that truly bothers me. I don't like the riffraff and all the indifference that is there because of this. And I get the whole argument that Kamala provides more emotional comfort and Trump. I mean, honestly, Trump, there is chaos there because people just genuinely don't like him. Yeah, he's a convicted felon and all this stuff. But how many people in your family is a convicted felon? Or is he even convicted yet? I don't even know. Is he? He has a lot of charges. Okay, y'all heard. He just has a lot of charges. But how many people in your family have been through something and wants to still do something else to turn it around or be positive? I know I have. I know I still am. So I can't really sit here and just be like, I don't even know what they are. I don't know what the charges are. So I don't know, y'all. But I know I just got so crazy this episode. It just shared so much. It's because it's something I'm really passionate about. There is a third option, especially to all my black folks out there. We gotta lock in, y'all. And then my Christian black folks, I need y'all to really lock in. Because it's the lesser evil. Like, is that really a term? Like, a lesser evil? And is the lesser evil Kamala? Because if someone's willing to be deceitful to you, is that better? Is it? That's my real question. And it's something that we all should ponder. At least we know what Trump stands for and straight up. Like, I think there's been a lot of controversy throughout Kamala's campaign. And it's just kind of like, we still rather pick her. We'd still rather pick her over Trump. Like, that's what makes me laugh. I'm like, whoa, Trump must have really just did some bad stuff. If we still rather do that. But again, just sharing my thoughts, my personal opinion. I'm not saying you should vote for Trump. I'm not saying you should vote for Kamala. You should vote for whoever you feel will suit you and your family the most. You know, because I think at the end of the day, they both have a heart. Now, what they have a heart for, that we will never know until we give them the keys. But they both have a heart, and we just have to trust our gut on it, on who we're gonna vote for, and be okay with agreeing to disagree. That is something huge, which a lot of people sometimes can't do, or they could completely shut down. I used to be like that, but it was like, I have to. I'm an adult now. Like, my birthday's coming up soon. Okay, I'm an adult now, so it's like I can't really just. Oh, you don't agree with me? Don't talk to me, huh? I may need that person to help me get my future job. Like, we can't be like that. We have to be able to be mature, and I think that's something that it's hard, you know. But I don't know, y'all. This episode was heavy. So, like, talk to me in the comments. Tell me how you feel. But before I close, I just want to say one more time, just to emphasize what I'm saying, so that you don't think I'm targeting you specifically. If you feel like that, something's brewing inside. I'm going to say it one more time. If we claim to be Christians, but at some particular candidates rally, they say you're at the wrong party if you say who you serve is king. That's interesting. That's scary. It's beyond anything. It's scary. If you're not scared by that, or if that isn't awaken you in some type of way, I don't know what will. But you know, like, I don't know how much of clickbait that was, to be completely honest with you. But I feel like there's multiple things throughout the Democratic campaign that should question you as a believer in Christ. Period. And as a black believer in Christ, there's a multitude of things that should make you question. Period. But, you know, I can seem so confusing because I literally have so many different experiences and it just goes all over the place. But y'all, let's use our brains. Okay? So, yeah. To wrap up this episode, the song of the week is Lost Ones by Lauryn Hill. And y'all know me, I love Lauryn Hill. And this song, I feel like it's helpful because she says in the song, you might win some, but you just lost one. And I think that applies to us in so many different ways in our life, especially with this election. Like, we have to use our brains and exercise that third option. I think this song is so powerful for this episode because it shows us we have many options, we have many decisions, and our third option sometimes is the thing we should pick, especially if we look at the story in the Bible with Daniel and how he had an option to do A or B, but he still decided to serve where he was at and still honor the Lord. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in what's going on right here and what we can see right here instead of opening up our vision and realizing, oh, there's so much more around us. So, y'all, don't be in a position where you might win some, but you just lost one. And the one you may lose may be the most important thing. So just keep that in mind as you're going to the polls and doing your early voting, and as you're doing your voting on the actual election day. Like, use your brain, think. And in doing that, be confident in who you vote for. If you really want Kamala to win, be confident in it and stand on it. If you really want Trump to win, be confident in it and stand on it. Because no matter what, whoever wins, we still have to serve him. We still have to serve the Lord. Because at the end of the day, the world is going to whirl, the earth is going to earth, and we have to focus on him. People have itching ears at this time. So we have to be mindful and be wise. Not just knowledgeable, but wise. So being able to know the full knowledge of that thing. And if you can't, learn some more. Okay? But I can't wait to see you guys next week, and hope you have a great rest of your week. And with that being said, always remember, be, stay, and remain encouraged.